Hello UK fans, Matt here, and welcome to a deck profile for DDDs. This is my preliminary deck profile. It's the one that I was using during the Duel Against Raid Raptors, which I did a mini episode on. It proved quite well. So this is just the preliminary. If you've got any advice on this, how to change it or anything, please let me know in the comments. So yeah, let's go straight into it. First one is DDD Armageddon the Great, Death's Lord. Mainly because of its effect to target one DD monster and increases attack by 800 while it's in the pendulum zone. With a pendulum scale of 4, it can be potential if you're using it with DDD Cerberus or a stratum like Kepler. So yeah, I do apologise, I do have a cold at the present moment again, so it's not very nice. It does have a monster effect, which is once per turn if a monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target one of those monsters. This card gains attack equal to that monster's original attack until the end of this turn. This card attack directly in the turn, you activate this effect, so that to stop if you're going to go suicidal into that monster and then power up your own. This card can also not be destroyed by spell trap card effects that do not target, so it can be protected against Rejeki, which is very powerful, and Mirror Force, that can't hit well unless you target it specifically, which is a bit weird because when you usually target, it's not usually for destruction, it's probably for a bounce back or something to that extent, but not always destruction. So yeah, it's got a nice weird effect. I think it's the first time I've seen a monster that's got that actual effect. On to number 2, which is DDD Ragnarok, the Destruction Overlord. An amazing card. As you saw in the previous video with DDDs, this card came out quite well, working in tangent with Temujin. Really, it should be Temujin and DDD Alexander, but this one worked very well. When you special summon a DDD monster, except during the damage step, you can target one DDD monster in your graveyard. Any battle damage involved to your opponent is half the rest of the turn. Also, you special summon it, and then you take 1,000 damage. This deck has quite a lot of damage of yourself. That's why there are specific cards just to keep healing and making sure it works. It just works, guys. So really, Leodonis and the Arc are 2 of the main cards in the deck. But if you combo that with DDD Arc, you're gaining 1,000 for that special summon, so it works amazingly like that. I have yet to normal summon it. When it's normal summoned or special summoned, you can target a DDD monster in your graveyard, special summon it, which I actually forgot about. Once per turn, you contribute one of the DDD monsters, target one monster on the field your opponent controls, and banish it. To destroy it, it just banishes it. So this can take care of Winter, but its attack is a bit weak, so I've yet to normal summon it. But I actually forgot about that effect too. But this is one of my star cards for this, DDD and Leonidas, the Rebellious Lord. When you take damage from a card effect, you can destroy it while it's in the pendulum zone, and if you do any effect damage that will inflict damage, increases your life point by the same amount for the rest of the turn. Doesn't stop the original damage, but you don't really use it for that effect. You use it in the sense that you want to use this effect. When you take damage from a card effect, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, you gain life points equal to that damage, and then any effect damage later on you take becomes 0. So if it's on the field, you're not going to get hit by the damage of the Covenant cards. They just don't make it just hurt you. So that is just amazing, and that's why I always love it. I always make sure I add it to my hand if I use DD Resource Management. Usually that card and Kepler to make all my plays possible. Next one is Odai's Pendulum Dragon, the first non-DDD and the only non-DDD from the actual monster lineup. Odai's is only to get DDD Kepler to my hand. Kepler is essential for the deck. It's a searcher for the Covenants, and the Covenants are, well, one of the Covenants is essentially just as other searcher. So basically adding monster to your hand when you activate Kepler. So yeah, Odai's is just to add that card to the hand. You can also pendulum summon with it if you combo it with DD Cerberus or Kepler, which is alright. But I've yet to use it. I probably will drop it if it just doesn't see that much play. but I like the access to Kepler so much. Next one is DDD, which is DD Cerberus, level 4. That makes other monsters level 4, because you can target a DD monster, make it level 4, and then if you do, it gives 400 attack and defense. And also when it's pendulum summoned from your hand, while you control a DD monster, you can target one continuous spell in your graveyard and your hand, so you can add back your searcher or your fusion summoner. So, just amazing there. It also gives access to rank 4s, which is Exciton that can actually be working in this. I can't use Castell or 101 because they're not fiends, but Exciton is, so that has great access to that card, but also need to get out Kaiser the Wave Overlord. So yeah, there's that guy. He's not the most 100% card in the deck, but it is great to have a monster that can change your level and increase your attack. So yeah, on to the next one, DD Lilith, which is the re-adder of Kepler, because you can target a DD monster in your graveyard and add to your hand, or DD monster in your pendulum for your pendulums monsters in your extra deck, and you can add them to your hand when it's normal or special summon. So you can work with Howling, or just when you normal summon it if you've run out of your Keplars already. Next one, DD Night Howling. The tuner of the deck, when it's normal summon, you can target a DD monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Its attack and defense becomes 0, and if that monster is destroyed, you take 1000 damage. Although it's highly unlikely it's going to be destroyed unless you do tribute on it. And you can't special summon other monsters for the rest of the turn except for fiends. So that's why more or less all this extra deck is fiends. There's a few obvious non-fiends, but I will go into those in a bit. Next one, and the final one for the monster lineup is Kepler. Kepler is just amazing. I'm not using Galilea, which is a strong. It never comes up when I want it. Galilean. Here it is. I'm not using that with the conjunction of the just instant pendulum summoning. I'm more for the fusion summoning side of this deck. It's just amazing. Whereas the pendulum side is just a bit lackluster for me. So yeah, Kepler can be used for pendulum summoning, but it's not exactly what I want to go into. The effects I use is when it's normal or special summon, you can add a Covenant card from your deck to your hand, or you can actually bounce a card from your field back to your hand for a pendulum summon later. So that's always good as well. Okay, I'll delete that because it's annoying me. Onto the spells. Allure of Darkness to add 2 more cards to your hand and banish the dark, with all your deck being dark. That's always nice. Even the odd eyes is dark. 1 for 1 to special summon out Kepler. Regikai is this Regikai. Covenant of the Infernal Gate. This is a searcher because it adds. During your main phase, you can add 1 DD monster from your deck to your hand. Any DD monster, so it basically can search out anything in here except for odd eyes. So you can add your Night Howlings, you can add your Rebellious Lord, you can add Ragnarok, you can add Lilith if you've run out of Kepler, you can add Kepler if you haven't done it that way. Somebody out Kepler to add that, then you add something else. Cerberus is a possibility, and even Hell Armageddon, although I'm yet to use him. But yeah, it's an amazing card. Although all Covenant cards have the effect that you during each of your standby phases you take 1000 damage. I'll go into the actual play with that in a minute. But Covenant of the Swan King is the next one. I yet to know what that monster is, by the way. I just don't know what it is. This is obviously the Swan King. This is the Covenant with it. This is Fusion Summons a Fiend type monster from your extra deck. Using monsters from your hand or your side of the field as fusion materials. If you would fusion summon a DD fusion monster, you can also banish monsters from your graveyard, so you can make use of the dead monsters in your graveyard. Not a thing for your extra deck, unfortunately. It'd be nice if you could use them from your extra deck. Just send them to the graveyard instead, and then you can never use them then. But that's not how they made it, unfortunately. But, and it's a big but, this is one of the best cards in the deck because it can fusion summon out the Arc with little stress. Very, very good card. Next one is Least Laundering. to stop if I don't have the right plays out, if I don't have my Melodious or I don't have Dark. It's always good to have at least Laundering, because you can destroy as many Covenant cards in your spell trap zone as possible if you do draw a card for each that's destroyed, and then gain 1,000 life points. So you can destroy those 3 cards in conjunction, so stop the damage effect, and then gain 1,000 instead, and even draw a card. So it's just amazing. I don't see this played that much, but I really do like it as this card. Next one is DDD Resource Management. I used to play at 3, but it was a bit cloggy at 3, so I'm using it at 2. You shuffle 3 DDD monsters from your hand, field, or graveyard, or DDD cards from your pendulum zones into your deck. So you can use the ones that are already placed in your pendulum scale, so it's quite good there. And then add 2 DDD monsters from your deck to your hand, so specific draws. Very nice. I usually add Kepler and Melodious to provide a bit of a defense, and Kepler to search out Covenant, to search out another DDD monster, depending on what I need. I also search out Covenant if I've got what I need. Next one, Ring of Destruction, because it's not as bad in this. I took it out of my actual Shaddoll deck, but I am keeping it in this because when you do take damage, it won't be as bad, because they won't get damaged because you'll gain life points instead. So, well, actually, I don't know if it works with that. It may have a ruling that doesn't work in conjunction with DDD Dark, but I haven't yet seen it. I'll have to check up on it. But next, I'll go on to Vanity Temptress. Always used in my decks, as you guys know. And Solemn Warning, same for this. I'm growing so much fonder of this compared to Ring of Destruction and Compulsory Evacuation Device, or even Bottomless for that matter. Solemn is just amazing because it's a card trap. So yeah, on to the next one, Covenant of the Dark Witch, the final Covenant card that's been released in the OCG. That's confirmed. Still some Covenant anime cards, so you could see some of those ones. You send 1 DDD or Covenant card from your hand to the graveyard and target 1 card on the field and destroy it. That's quite good, because you can do that either player's turn, and all fiend types gain 1,000 attack during your opponent's turn. So you beef up your Darks and your Melodious while you've got this card on the field. And finally is a bit of like tech for this deck. I don't know if anyone else is playing it at the present moment, but Aegis of Gaia. Mainly just try it out. I've been trying ones that are damaging me, like Grave Robber and Curse of Darkness. Things that would damage me and my opponent, or my opponent. But they weren't working at the present moment, so I took down to 1. I'm using Aegis of Gaia because life points are quite critical in this deck. You gain 3,000 life points on its activation. If this face-up card is removed from the field, you take 3,000 damage. So I can get rid of it. If I just get rid of it while I have Dark on the field, I'll gain 3,000 life points again, which is always nice. So they usually would take it when it's not on the field, when I don't have the ones on the field, or Melodious will protect me from any damage. So yeah, that's why I'm using it. I want to keep 6,000 life points if I can. Okay, onto the extra deck. So the fusion side, we have triple Dark. So the main combo, as I was saying, is that the fact that any effect damage that you get is instead increasing your life points by the same amount. So if you take damage from a Covenant card or Aegis of Gaia, you're going to gain that life points instead of losing those life points. So the best play would be have all 3 of these out and gain 3,000 life points during your standby phase instead of losing 3,000. So that's just amazing, and it works great in conjunction with Ragnarok, as that inflicts damage as well. I also want Temujin. I may be adding another Temujin because, as you saw, he was a great card. He special summons from your graveyard when you special summon a DD monster to your side of the field. So that's always a great card to have. When it's destroyed by battle, or when its card in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can tie 1 Covenant card in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So that's resource management there, just to get around that fact that DDD resource management doesn't countering your Covenant cards, but your extra deck monsters do, so that's always good. But the only thing that really detracted me from it is the fact that it's only 2000 attack, so maybe a bit of a waste. Sorry about that. Onto my synchros. 2 Chaos King Archfiend, because it's a Fiend type monster. More or less all my extra deck is a Fiend except bar 2. So yeah, this is a nice Fiend monster. There's only 3 options for Fiends. Dark for level 7s, it's just Dark Highlander, Chaos King Archfiend, and Scrap Archfiend. Chaos King Archfiend is the best out of all 3 because when you declare an attack, you can switch the attack and defense of all phases of the monsters on the opponent's controls until the end phase, till the end of the battle phase. So that can make their strong defenders into weak defenders. So it's always nice to have that. And DDD Alexander the Great, or the King of Gales, requiring 1 DD tuner and 1 non-tuner monsters. The only way you summon it out anyway is Howling and Lilith, but yeah. If a DD monster is normal or special summoned, except this card, you can target 1 level 4 or lower DD monster in your graveyard and special summon that target. So it helps as a Abaki Reggie, or I'm probably saying that wrong. Did on his anime duel. He had Alexander out and Temujin. They both summoned out 2 level 4s to overlay for DD Kaiser and overwhelm Yuya. So yeah, that's how the play is supposed to go. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the Covenant adding card like this one, and this one does. On the extra deck, that's rank Fiends. For rank 3, I'm using Musiv, the String Nation, the best Fiend out of all of them, unfortunately. It's a bit like an Honest because it can power itself up, well, double its attack at least, so 3000 beta is always nice. But only attacking opponent's monster, obviously. And then Exciton, because the Fiends that can blow the field. Why wouldn't you have run that? And the other 2 are DD Caesar, the Wave Overlord. During either player's turn, you can detach 1 Exceed material from this card at the end of this turn. This battle phase, special summon as many monsters from your graveyard as possible that will destroy during this turn. So you can rearm you in that sense. And if you do, take 1000 damage for each monster summoned. That's annoying when I do that. So just again work with DD Arc, and during your next standby phase, so you need to have DDD Arc for that. And if this card is sent from the fields of the graveyard, you can add 1 Covenant card from your deck to your hand, so it adds more resources to your hand. That's always nice in this deck. And then you could overlay this card into DD Sniper Overlord Tell. You can it ranks up onto any rank 4 DD monster. Once per turn during each player's turn, if you took effect damage this turn, you can detach 1 Exceed material from this, and then tag 1 face-up card in the field. It loses 1000 attack and defense, and then if you do, inflict 1000 damage to your opponent. This card is sent from the field to the graveyard. You can send 1 DD or Covenant card from your deck to the graveyard. So it's a foolish burial in that sense, just to reload your graveyard. And finally, the rank 7s. Since they're not going to be overcumbered by the effects of DD Night Howling, not using Fiend rank 7s, I don't even think there is a Fiend rank 7, but we have these. The 2 choices I'm using are Dragosack, because it can pop cards on the field, and Big Eye, because that's Snatch Steal in that sense. There is also options to go into Flare Metal Dragon or Absolute Dragon, but otherwise won't be going to my graveyard. It'll be going to my extra deck, so that's not always the best play. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this deck profile, even though I'm not speaking properly, really congested, so not very good for me. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Please comment below if you've got any suggestions for this deck. I will be doing some videos on this deck, so hope you enjoy watching them as well. Please like and subscribe for more content. Please comment below if there's any changes you would like to see in my production, etc. Matt Durant, signing out.